Okay, alright. Let's give this a try. So, today we're going to try a modded campaign on hard with the Chosokabe. I've sunk a lot of time into this game, and it's arguably life-changing for me. And I figure I finally try to do a stream of it. So, I'm going to try to make this stream fairly simple. So we'll be using some mods here, as you can see in the description, but we're also going to try to not stray too far from vanilla. So even though we'll have some modded units and modded stats, a lot of the ideas we'll be applying are hopefully still applicable to vanilla. Or, you know, if you're interested, you can also go ahead and click the links below and use the same mods yourself. So this is kind of a dry run. I haven't really made sure everything's like compatible. We're just hoping that nothing crashes, which I've gotten that far into, like starting a campaign and you know, it doesn't crash after introduction. So like I said, we're gonna play this on hard to hopefully give us a little bit of a challenge with the AI. I have a UAI mod enabled, so hopefully the computer has a decent army to fight against and can wield said army effectively. But again, it's been a long time since I played, so I'm kind of rusty. I've played a lot of other Total War games since then and strategy games, and hopefully this game still remains more of a challenge than just, you know, build a gazillion of the same unit and win. Because the problem with, I feel, this Total War and really all the Total Wars since this game is that it's too easy to, excuse me, I misspoke. Every Total War after Warhammer, yeah, after Warhammer 1, you had Warhammer 2 and Three Kingdoms, right? So like, but the problem with both of those, with all three of those games, yeah, Britannia, I guess, but doesn't really count. Anyway, the point is, a lot of those games have the problem where it's very easy to build a ton of range units and, like a modern army, just obliterate everything before they get into melee. So it really takes the challenge out of the campaign very quickly. We're going to be playing a fairly easy faction first. We're going to try to make it a short campaign, because this is more to just, like, you know, make sure everything runs smoothly, and then maybe we'll try a harder campaign. Anyway, the main thing I like about Shogun 2 is that, like, it's still challenging. It's impossible, as far as I can tell, to spam enough artillery and guns to make it so that nothing reaches you in melee, at least without severe modding. So you always have to bring some melee units with you, whether they be cav or infantry. Anyway, enough talking. Like I said, main thing is Chosokabe. We're gonna do the Chosokabe. Try to pronounce it a little bit. We're gonna try to do the Chosokabe. Their main bonus is that, really, they start on an island on their own. Yeah, technically, that you can, as you see on the land here, they have these, but really their main benefit is that they start on this island by themselves. So they're quite isolated and they have time to grow, and they don't really need to fear attacks. Like, yeah, the AI will do naval invasions, but that's really a long time from the beginning of the campaign. Anyway, so yeah, our main bonus is we get reduced cost and upkeep for bow infantry, and notice how it's just infantry. So that means it applies to all the units. There's two main kinds of units in Shogun 2. There are, well, Shogun 2, the Sengoku Jidai campaign, but we'll worry about that later. Anyway, the point is, there's main two kinds of units: Samurai and Ashigaru. So Samurai, as I'm sure a lot of you probably already know, are a type of class, I guess. Yeah, it's a class of Japanese society. Their entire life revolves around training and fighting and dying for their master. So they're quite proficient warriors, whereas Ashigaru were mostly just peasant recruits. So they're less trained, but they're also cheaper and more numerous. So the nice thing about our bonus is that it affects everybody. So we can start using that bonus right away instead of waiting to build up the facilities necessary to train samurai. And we also recruit superior bow infantry, meaning that the bow infantry we recruit are they shoot faster, they shoot more accurately than everyone else's bow infantry. So this is probably the easiest campaign, and this is just icing on the cake, increased income. So we make more money than everybody else, and every province has a farm, so every province gets a bonus. Obviously, as you can see, there's a lot of other clans up here, but we'll get into that maybe on another day. Tonight, though, main thing is just we're gonna explain why this is an easy clan, go through some of the main mods that have affected the game, why I like Shogun, and let's see if we can get conquering a little bit. All right, here we go, and it's gonna take a few minutes to load the campaign introduction video. So just mainly want to point out that the biggest mods that affect this game is, first of all, expanded mod. So that really increases the number of provinces in the game. That kind of changes how the game feels. We'll get into like why later if we get that far, but if you're playing some clans, I won't specify which yet, so like I said, we'll worry about that later. Main thing is it changes the feel of the game for some clans. Okay, next is the artillery unit pack. That's the main take that back. That's the only mod I have that actually adds new units to the game. So in the base game you have European cannons and I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. Mangonos? They're glorified catapults, and they both serve their role, but I feel like they're kind of too basic. And the only way to access European cannons is to convert. There's a whole thing to it. So yeah, this way you can still access artillery without needing to convert to Christianity. Okay, I just threw some advanced words that people maybe never played in Shogun 2, but don't worry about it. Point is, it adds more units. I think it makes the game more fun. It can lead to what I was discussing earlier, making it super imbalanced. So we're going to try to avoid recruiting too many of those. I'm going to put an artificial cap on my armies, like you might have to do in a lot of games once you, a lot of Total War games when you play them long enough. And finally, the other mod that really changes things is removing the Smithy's local upgrade. Again, I've tried to keep this simple, but long story short, there's a particular building, makes your unit stronger. Unlike later games, there's no way to retroactively apply this upgrade, so you can't bring other units to the province and upgrade them. Meaning you either, one, have to use subpar units, or two, you're kind of incentivized to just sit there for, I don't know, like 50 turns for a long time until you can get the best, air quotes, units. And that's not really fun, because it just becomes like, you know, like those RTSs where you sit in the corner of the base, but a huge army, and then you win. Like, that's not engaging, right? Like, you're winning, but you're not winning because you played well, or you, actually, that's it. Yeah, it's not because you're necessarily playing well. It's just because you're gambling and waiting long enough, and hopefully the AI won't kill you right away. Okay, this is taking unusually long. Maybe it's just taking a while. It's gonna suck if it turns out we can't even load in. But, you know, still, basic information for someone maybe getting into this stream, why we're doing a Chosokabe hard campaign and the kind of mods we'll be running. This is unusual. But anyway, yeah. So why should somebody, you know, play Shogun 2 Total War? Well, let's do a little background. What is the main draw of a Total War game, right? I mean, maybe this will change for myself even in a few years, but at the moment, and I think what, you know, kept me with Total War games through all this time is, I'm sorry, I'm kind of distracted. It doesn't make sense how long this is taking. Do I not have enough RAM or something? I mean, it should be okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pause the stream temporarily, see if we can get loaded in, then we'll resume. Okay, I don't know what happened. Stopped, started. Let's watch the video.
The age of the country at war. For 200 years, the Ashikaga shoguns have ruled from Kyoto. Great splendor and power were theirs. Now, the overmighty clans no longer obey. The time has come for a new warlord to become Shogun. But who will be victorious? Chosokabe lands have always provided for our people. Our enemies are many and envious. They threaten our borders and look for any weakness. This is our land. We respect its ways. Our farmers work hard and grow more than other men. But we are master warriors too. Our archers are admired by all. No arrow flies truer than the Chosokabe shaft. Bishamonte, the war god has woken. Now is the time to defeat our enemies. All will bow to the Chosokabe clan. We wait no longer. Destiny calls! We are the Chosokabe. Until recently, our home province of Tosa was controlled by the Ichijo clan. We are their vassals. The waning popularity of the Ichijo throughout the province, and our own growing influence gave us the means to seize control for ourselves. Now, all that remains is to crush what remains of Ichijo resistance. Once this is done, nothing will prevent the conquest of Shikoku. Our rivals, the Kono, have their eyes on the same prize. They will also vie for control of the island, so the capture of their province, Iyo, must also be a priority. Whilst holding no particular strategic value, control of Iyo will allow us to extend our domain and bring us closer to the mainland of Honshu and its riches. We have as yet no quarrel with the Sogo or Miyoshi clans, but their subjugation or destruction will give us total control of Shikoku and access to resources vital for expansion beyond the shores of Shikoku. The fine horses of Awa will enable us to field superior cavalry, whilst the stone found in Sanuki will make our castles impregnable. Both are excellent trade resources should we choose to negotiate with other clans. However, with power and influence will surely come the ire of Kyoto. And should the Shogun feel threatened, he will rally his subjects against us. In that event, we must be prepared to fend off all who would attack us, no matter from where that threat emerges. If the Shogun wishes to halt our expansion, let him come here and reckon with us himself.
Okay, so first of all, I apologize for that technical difficulty. Second of all, yeah, enough jabbering. Like, well, I can explain mechanics and the map and whatever later. Let's just kill something.
If
So-
our daimyo is to become shogun,
Shush. Basically, all she was saying is, wait, if we get too powerful, this dude, the Shogun, will be like, oh, kill that guy, and everyone unite against us. We'll worry about that when we get there. Like I said, everything else can wait. If anyone's actually sat through 10 minutes of me talking to myself, I should reward them with having us fight something. Okay. So yeah, the one thought I want to leave you with before we start this is that, yeah, the main draw of Total War always has been, I'm assuming always will be, the big battles. So let's see if we can't get ourselves a decent sized battle to begin with. So like I said earlier, rebels, we're gonna kill these rebels. I'm gonna save first just in case, I don't know, I go AFK and everyone dies. So let's get to it. What? Okay, need to change that setting. Okay, so yeah, like I said, main draw of Total War to anyone who's interested in playing this game or other Total War games is you see big battles. You get to see lots of units clash with other units. If you grew up or have recently found any movies like what is it called? The Patriot or Band of Brothers or Saving Private Ryan, like I realize those last two are pretty modern, but also something like The Last Samurai. If you like watching movies where there's like a ton of extras fighting in the background, this is your game. Obviously, there's a million other things attached to it, from running your country or clan to you know, micromanaging your units, whatever. But really, I think if that one line alone is not enough to convince you to play, wanting to see a bunch of guys fight a bunch of other guys or monsters or whatever, then maybe you should try something else. So we have dry weather conditions, and since we have a lot of archers, we don't want fog or anything else. We're just gonna start. Okay, I guess our general is not giving a speech today, but that's okay. Let's just get to it. Okay, so if you notice, we have a mod active, and if you notice this card on the right, they have 5,000 arrows. That is indeed a mod. The base game does not have archers with 5,000 arrows, but we're gonna do that because I think it's strange for a strategy game for them to run up ammo. Ammo should not be a deciding factor as to how a useful unit should be. Plus, a unit kind of gets defanged by the idea it can run out of ammo. I mean, it's more realistic, but it's preference. Anyway, so yeah, you still have to have a weaker unit to draw fire, and you also need a unit. You also more pressure of a unit kill the enemy ranged units. But sorry, that's too advanced. We have a mod. That makes them very killy. But let's worry about unit sizes and whatever later. Let's just get to fighting. Okay, so as we can see, the enemy is all the way over here. Whoops, over here. And I cannot tell how clever they're being because they're just running randomly. This is something the AI does a lot, and we should try to avoid just random running because we don't want to like tire our men out. Fatigue is really dangerous. But yeah, you know, like they're not fighting yet, but just, you know, seeing all these guys like charging, like if it's running, walking, moving, whatever. Yeah, but that doesn't make you go, ooh, cool. Then I don't know. Maybe you should start with a different Total War game. Like, you have fantasy. You're interested in that? Romans. If that's your jive. Okay, so we have our daimyo. Wait, no, I lied. Our favorite general, our only general, joining us on the field. He's gonna provide some reassurance to the men when we start fighting. We can also do this, like first person. It's not as advanced as some of the other Total Wars, but yeah. Sorry, like I said, let's try to get to the action quickly. I'm just gonna speed this up a little because they're not doing much. And I'm gonna answer a really quick question that comes up like every time someone streams Total War. It feels like, guys, you see this balloon? Okay, it's the whole point of this balloon is to stop arrows. So the idea is that they're like riding along with the general, and there's people shooting at them and stuff. The arrows will hit the balloon instead of the person, or at least not the general. Anyway, okay, so he's arrived, and it seems like they're just gonna, yep, they're just gonna hang out here. They're just gonna wait here. They're not gonna move. They have a good position. They wait for us to attack them. Pretty good idea, to be honest. Okay, so we're gonna group our generals first. We're gonna make them organized like that, and we're gonna lock it to keep them from running, from moving out of that position. We have our Yari Ashigaru, so spears, and peasants. That's the two relevant parts, the Yari being the spear and Ashigaru being, like I said earlier, the peasants. Oh, and also the music. My gosh, every Total War has good music, but I feel like Jeff Van Dyke here really outdid himself with this soundtrack. He's I forget the proper term, but he's a huge fan of drums, and I am too because of him. Okay, so yeah, basics. Like I said, try to keep this as simple as possible. Basically, you throw your archers at them. Hopefully they run at you, and if they run at you, you pull archers back, throw your melee units. That's it. That's all we're gonna stick with today. Flanking, abilities, whatever. I mean, I may have mentioned a few other things, but we're gonna keep it as simple as possible. Throw archers in. Hopefully they run at you. Archers pull back. Throw your melee units. 3 steps. Works for virtually every battle except the siege. So I guess every field battle, every ambush battle. Yeah, everything that's not a siege. Let's stick with that. And let's see. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go at it. Let's go. And if anyone has questions, I mean, I doubt it. I don't think anyone's ever gonna see this stream. But if anyone has questions, feel free to type it in the chat or like, write a comment. I'll try to reply. But yeah, first time doing this, zero experience. I mean, I've done a little public speaking, but like it doesn't count for much. So we're just gonna move everyone towards the enemy. This is the equivalent of, that general at the war room taking the little pushing. Gosh, I can't remember it, but it's that he's taking that thing, just pushing everything at the enemy. That's basically what we're doing. It's almost possible for us to lose this battle. They have like 1, 2, 3, 4 units. We have 6, right? So like, unless this goes horribly wrong, like we send them in 1 by 1, we're gonna win. Like I said, I'm gonna try to minimize my teaching, I'll explain all these little things I'm doing at another battle. Right now we're just gonna try to like get engaged. So we're gonna move everything into position first, and then we're just gonna go at it and go for the best. So like I said, step 1, we're gonna have our archers attack. We're gonna have our guys get ready to charge in if they charge at us, and also pull our archers back. Where do those arrows land? Trying to see if they can hit these guys if they need to pull back a little. Yeah, that's really close. I'm gonna. Oh yeah. So what was it? One guy actually got hit. We're gonna have them run backwards a little. Don't want them taking random casualties needlessly. So we're kind of having an arrow duel at this point. We're just gonna have our guys shoot their guys, and being the the Chosokabe, we should win this handedly. And let's see if the AI does anything different. I don't know. It's hard for me to say because the mod me, but I don't know if they're going to be smart and try to do something, or are they just going to sit here and eat arrows all day. Oh, here's a trivia fact. So I'll wait for the next volley. Ooh, that guy's not having a good day. Okay, look how they're drawing their bows. Notice how they raise their bows above their heads. The reason for this is that Japanese bows, or yumi, have an incredible draw weight. So they're actually too hard to draw the way you would draw a Western bow. So they need to actually raise the bow above their heads so they can use the force of that to pull the arrow back. It's a very Japanese feature. I don't know if that makes the bow stronger or not. I think a composite bow is probably more effective, but it's a nice little trivia fact. Once I had someone call the Japanese Archery Association and ask them that. And if you notice, the Ashigaru are wearing hats because they can't afford proper armor. I mean, I don't think it's even accurate that they have, like, armor at all, frankly. But whatever, it's a video game. Gameplay over realism any day. But if you can learn a little history along the way, might as well. Yeah, this is taking a while, so I'm gonna spit out one more trivia fact and we're just gonna get started. Speaking of realism, this game is not realistic at all. Obviously, there's abilities and crap, but main thing you have to remember is that samurai were not. This is not how samurai worked. There weren't like spear samurai and katana samurai and whatever. There were samurai. End of the sentence. They were multidisciplinary warriors. They had spears, they had bows, they had naginata, katanas, everything. And often what would happen is they'd ride out on their horses, they'd duel each other with arrows, and then maybe charge each other with spears. The sword was actually a last resort weapon. And often, if there were women riding on the field, albeit rare, but if there were, they often used the naginata. We don't have any examples of that at the moment, but we'll get there in a second. Anyway, let's speed this up. This is taking too long. Let's just have them. I mean, they're shaken, so they should flee soon. Sorry about that. Just had to mute myself a little bit. Oh gosh, okay. Alright, we might lose some men here. So, we did not pull back quickly enough. And their horses are in our men. So they're getting slaughtered left and right. We're gonna have them run the hell away, and we're gonna bring our melee units in. Like we said earlier, we're gonna pull archers back, throw in melee units. Simple enough. I can't tell if this announcer is accurate or racist. I honestly can't tell. Although I doubt it makes much difference. I'm gonna have him reform over here and try to put some more arrows into the enemy. Like I said, we're just throwing everything in.
My lord, a glorious victory will soon be yours.
So, one quick note, when a unit flees like this, their defense falls to 0, so they just instantly get killed. Oh yeah, so yeah, we won. So everyone's running, and then we're just gonna mop up the enemy now. As soon as we get the victory screen, we're just gonna end this, because, yeah. If a unit is fleeing and the battle ends, they just instantly get killed, and their deaths, I guess, yeah, their deaths are distributed amongst your units, so they can still get XP and stuff. Okay, I apologize. I'm really bad at this keeping it simple thing, but yeah, let's just stick with the original idea, right? Archers attack, pull back, melee. All right, so that's I think that's enough for tonight. We'll get into how to like manage your clan and XP and all the other complicated parts of this game later. We're just gonna do the battle we just did. Excuse me, we're just gonna finish the battle. I mean, I suppose a few minutes more wouldn't hurt. Okay, we're gonna go in order. So, easiest thing first to decide is this. It's a research tree. 2 sides. Military, civil. Simple enough. we're gonna start with a civil research because this allows us to build a market, the strongest building in the game. We'll get into why some other time. Next, we're going to take care of some diplomacy. We're gonna beg somebody to trade with us. Let's look who can give us the most money. Oh, okay. This one gives us slightly more money, but they're right next to us. This one also gives us the same amount, but they're further.
Welcome, noble friend.
So
There
we're
is
gonna
much
ask
to
them to
this-
trade, and then we can trade with all of them. We're gonna okay. He doesn't want to trade.
And do so with
He got angry red armor. What about this guy? You want to trade, buddy?
I will
Oh,
listen
the
attentively, and then give you a final response.
Nij. I'm not even gonna try. Whatever. We're gonna trade with him. Make some moolah. We're probably not gonna trade with them because I think we're gonna invade them next turn. Yeah, we're gonna invade them next turn, so we're not gonna trade with them. Oh, and
Speak.
they don't
and
want
do
to.
not mumble.
What? Well, let's just check if they want. Oh, they don't want to anyway. Yeah, that's the same angry red guy. Okay, so that's done. So we're gonna increases our money a little more. Well, you know, I lied. We'll explain all that stuff later. Just if you're starting a campaign first time, start some research, start your trade, and build some stuff. Let's see. We have how much money? Okay. Do we have a port? Okay. +1. Okay, we're gonna upgrade our farms because that's our thing with Chosokabe. And I don't know. Let's maybe recruit some more men. Ooh, takes 2 turns. They have 4 units. Okay, 3, 7.
お命じください。そちの望む通り。次はいかがいたしましょう。
Okay, we probably need some more units. We're gonna do 1 of each. Okay, and we're broke, so we're gonna end our turn. But before I do, I'm gonna end the stream. Thanks if you did tune into this live, which I am flabbergasted by. And hopefully this will be a good archive in a decade if Google's still around. We'll find out. Alright, thanks everyone. Good night.